Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 136.
136.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by Theme Park Connection in Orlando, Florida.
I know they just came back from a big trip out to California. They had a big show and sale they did. But we also saw the truck on the road coming back from Daytona.
Right there, they stock NASCAR merchandise as well as a ton of Disney merchandise.
Right.
So definitely stop there or check them out online.
PixieVacations.com.
It is Flower and Garden Festival in 1 week. This is the time to get your vacation squared away.
Yes, and cruises and all the other good stuff.
Absolutely, like the Star Wars cruise.
That's right. And Maple Leaf Tickets, our official ticket agency, the best deals on tickets in town. Check them out. We are sorry that we are a little bit delayed. I went to Daytona last week for Speed Weeks, four full days out at the track, and it was a wonderful time. A little cold and a little warm.
Right. I mean, we have to actually collect stuff for the show and record it, so it takes a while to get that done.
We actually got to go out on the track before the race, so it was pretty cool, I thought.
And this area will not be there next year.
That's right. The backstretch grandstands are going away, and we got to ride this contraption and have a great time. So anyway, we're sorry. We're going to get right into all the Disney goodness, starting off with Port Orleans, the special Fat Tuesday Mardi Gras parade.
We stopped at Port Orleans French Quarter. I actually went to Madame Tussauds, which we'll talk about. But this is the yearly Mardi Gras parade that we always do.
Boy, what a great time. I always love when the Mardi Gras parade, it's not really advertised, so you don't get a huge crowd, but it's just a really nice time.
And they started early this year. Had they done it at 1, we could have done 2 events that day, but because both of our events were starting at 10,
we had to split up.
Right.
You went to Madame Tussauds or Tussauds or whatever, and I think it is Tussauds.
No, it's Tussauds. Well, it's French. It's French.
So both are correct?
You could probably say both.
So all this stuff is new to me for sale at Port Orleans.
Well, Café du Monde coffee is certainly new. I have been in the shop many times recently, and it was not there.
Fervis.
No, it's not really Tervis. It's
fake Tervis. We call it
true.
Fervis.
Is that what we call it?
Faux Tervis. We even told the Tervis guy at Daytona that they have fake Tervis stuff.
Oh, will you
Fervis.
stop? Disney does carry a lot of Tervis, but they don't only carry, unfortunately, Tervis. And
check your cups. Make sure they are the correct Tervis cups.
These aren't as heavy, and I don't know how long they'll last. They could be durable. Who knows?
Anyway, I took a walk around because we had been requested to show some scenes from Port Orleans for one of our other viewers. I always love it there.
Well, I had done a photo walk. Actually, we've done photo walks of both the French Quarter and Port Orleans Riverside, which are on the cover of Mousesteps right now. And so then I was asked if we would have video also to talk about the resort.
And I think what we're going to do is when you do those photo walks, I'll come around and do some video walks too. I think that'll be a nice accompaniment to your photo walks, which I love.
And I really like the theming of the pool, although it is certainly a little more childlike with the sea serpent.
Well, it's perfect if it's actually Mardi Gras Day, like it was this day.
Yes. And I really like, and I've never really noticed these trees before. I've never thought about it. I love those.
Now, we didn't quite make it to the block party because we had heavy rain, but in one way it was good they had the parade early because it was perfect weather, beautiful day out for the Mardi Gras parade. This is a parade put on by cast members. They all work at Port Orleans Riverside or the French Quarter, and we actually recognize a few familiar faces in the parade.
Right, and again, it's been going on for years. It's pargo carts. They're like golf carts.
Right. And
the theme here was like magical music, I believe, although I'm not quite sure what the Fred Flintstone car was doing there as far as...
you may have that cart and you have to get it in somehow. Maybe it's caveman musical days. Who knows?
That actually was one of my favorite carts, looking at the video and the pictures, but I wasn't quite sure what it had to do with music.
And I love how they're throwing, I'm trying to record, but yet they're throwing beads and candy at me. What a great day. How could you not love that?
And you have to do nothing for them.
That's right. I can't because all my hands are full. And I'm wearing a full shirt, by the way. Nobody wants to see that, I'll tell you that. But yes, I did like the Flintstones. That was a great... They all should go and enter the golf cart parade at Fort Wilderness. That would be a good idea, wouldn't it?
That might be a good idea. Oh, look. But there's like 70s and 90s and...
All kinds of, like this one here is Disney music. You see, you have the Lion
music.
King and Frozen and all sorts of Beauty and the Beast, all sorts of Disney music. So the theming is correct.
Oh, and Elvis.
Elvis makes an appearance here.
And I recognized
You saw Elvis that day, too.
I did. I saw Elvis at Madame Tussauds. So
That's right.
we both got a chance to see Elvis.
So what a good time. And then this was more beads here.
This was like 60, it says 60s pop.
60s pop. Yes.
So every cart was a different one. Oh,
Country
yes.
line dancing.
And the cast members really enjoyed this. I really recommend it. Again, I was kind of disappointed I didn't get to do it this year, because... But
and I would have loved to do the Madame Tussauds.
Right.
It looks wonderful. It was the best. I'm glad we did both, so
Yes.
we can give coverage of it to people who watch the show.
And is this supposed to be part of the country music?
Yes, that's right. It sort of looks like a
A Ford,
truck, pickup
like
truck.
a Ford, a cherry red Ford,
That's right. See,
like at American Q.
that's right. And it totally 80s, tubular and rad. It says. Notice an AMC. That's one of those. What DeLorean? That doesn't quite look like a
No,
DeLorean.
it doesn't.
Does it?
I didn't get that.
Yes, that's a DeLorean.
And MTV, back when MTV actually played music videos.
I said it wrong. It's DeLorean motor car. That's what that's supposed to be.
I wouldn't have known
I corrected myself.
I'm 80s because that's when I grew up, 70s and 80s, but I didn't get that.
Yet another horse. More horses than ever this year.
Horse-filled parade.
Horse-filled. Always good. More horses than the Christmas parade at the Magic Kingdom. And lots of beads and candy.
And we got 2 characters this year and not just one, which we'll show probably in just a couple minutes.
That's right. The highlight is coming, though. My highlight is coming.
Oh, there's Casey.
There
Hi,
she
Casey.
is. Hello. One of our good friends who works there.
Recreation.
That's right.
And I'm not
70s.
sure.
That would be 70s. I should have wore my disco ball I got from Royal Caribbean.
Oh, you should.
On the 70s night. That would have
And
been
90s.
perfect. That's right.
I don't know much about 90s music. I'm a little... Is that... No, I thought it's Hanson. I thought it was Wilson Phillips for a second. My eyes aren't that good either. I'm too old for
Now,
this.
this is Tron. At first, I thought they were holding records. I didn't quite get it was Tron.
I
but
got
it's
that from the photos.
Well, yeah, but I mean, when you're there and you're recording and then it's coming by, took me a second. See, she's throwing the disc at me, so now I figured out it's Tron.
I thought some of the carts were a little more obscure this year than usual. So, but remember the Easter Bunny from last year? Everybody said that
People were disturbed by the Easter Bunny. And here is my favorite entry. The Kiss has its own genre. How perfect.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I was quite happy to see the Kiss Army in full force there, knowing what a big fan I am of Kiss.
And got to interview
Gene and Paul this year. What a year. What a year.
It has been a great year. Like if nothing good happened the rest of the year, I don't want to say that.
No,
though.
you'll ruin it.
And there's
the
Lion King.
Back to the Disney music. So, and that's almost it, except for, of course, the grand finale, sort of the Santa Claus, if you will.
Santa Claus? What does that mean?
If you're comparing it to the Christmas parade, Santa is always the last cart. And here, Tiana is always
Princess Tiana.
Princess Tiana.
And
Prince
Naveen.
Naveen, again. He took a year off last year.
Was it just 1 year or 2 years?
It was
they
1
took
year,
off?
but it was 2 years between that we had seen him. Hi, Tiana. You're so nice. Always.
They were really nice to you. I wish I had been there for that.
Well, again, we did go together, though, after Daytona. The Monday after Daytona, of course, we went to Epcot, a tradition after the race, to see whatever is new from the upcoming Flower and Garden Festival.
Right, and I think they may have slowed down the topiary. Usually 2 weeks out, they've added a lot of topiaries, but I don't know if it's because we've had quite a bit of cold weather lately.
I would say it's because of the freeze. It's because of the upcoming, at the time there was a big freeze.
Right, and then they had the marathon also as it was getting warmer, so I think, everything took a little longer than usual to start going up. But here's Captain Hook. A lot of the characters, a lot of the topiaries will be back in their same spots this year, although we're going to have some new ones, I think 4 new ones this year.
Right, we'll talk about 2 of those new ones coming up soon, but first we'll talk about some of our returning favorites. They look great. TikTok looks very colorful there. A lot of purple in the festival this year.
Although TikTok's eyes, I think he looks sort of like he's had too much to drink over the Rose and Crown because of that red, all that red.
The red outlining?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know if crocodiles imbibe at the Rose and Crown on a regular basis.
I don't know. But Peter Pan, I'm assuming, is going to be back on the roof as he has been.
One would think, yes.
And then we'll see Pooh. Like, a lot of the characters, again, are not here yet.
Well, Pooh, I believe Pooh is there.
Pooh is
As a
there,
matter
but
of fact, there is Pooh.
Yes, but none of the others are there. There'll be Piglet and there'll be Eeyore and Okay, tell me the other one.
I don't know. Maybe I think it's just those three.
No.
Is there another one?
Tigger.
Oh, Tigger. Of course. How can you forget Tigger?
And Woody is again back in his spot for the smokehouse area.
Speaking of smokehouse, you could see the smoker in the background and the usual setup.
And Woody has, I had never thought about it, the sculpted face. Remember how excited we were to see Snow White have a face last year? But his is sculpted also, and we will see two more characters who have not been put out quite yet. That pretty soon.
I love
that
the
have
smile.
A similar face.
Look at that smile he has. He looks great. You're right. Very sculpted, very nice. And you can even see he has the drawstring on the back to make him talk. So he's sort of saying, y'all come back.
And I know the sculpted faces are much harder to do than, let's say, right here. And Miss Piggy is also supposed to be in Italy this year.
That's what we hear. We don't know where yet. It'll be interesting to see where she turns up. Lady and the Tramp in their usual spot, and they look great this year. I think Lady has to grow in her ear hair a little bit more.
Well, her ear hair.
Whatever that is.
Her ears look different this year. I don't know if it's the same type of...
It's just not as fuzzy. I've compared pictures. I think it's just not fully grown in.
I just know it looks very different to me. And but they
noticed their tail. Noticed their tail this year?
Yes,
I've never
I did.
seen that before.
I have never noticed a tail either, and I took a picture of it because I'm like, oh, look, a tail. And then, but this is like the fourth year they have been in this exact spot.
Right.
They have been over in other areas, but this is the first.
I think this is a good
year.
spot because they get a shade a lot of the day, and it's probably good for them. This is a returning favorite, though. I love seeing this beautifully sculpted Snow White, and the hands especially are
because we know
high quality hands.
We know the hand model.
Top of the line hands.
And the only complaint that I've heard really is the blue,
dress.
The dress, right? But I know the faces are very, very time intensive, so I don't know why the dress isn't blue.
One person complained. It's not like there's an uproar.
No,
we had one person saying
no.
you missed the blue dress.
No, I've actually heard many people say it. They're like,
okay.
well, why no blue dress, with her sculpted face? And I actually don't know the reason. But then you have also the dwarfs and this is like the third year that she's been
they're in the
this
same
exact
area.
Location.
And they were in this area in the past, then they moved, and then they've returned. But they've never looked better. Their faces are more sculpted, and they have more character. I think the eyes really give some of that.
I mean, it's a great location. It's just I miss having the characters be at different areas a little more often. They've had some very creative ways of showcasing them.
Well, they used to be over in Germany
Right.
in that area that is now sort of a beer stand or a food stand, way off to the right-hand side.
That was one of the locations. They used to move a little bit more. And then in China, we have, I believe it's the Year of the Ram.
Yes, the Year of the Ram. They used to have all the zodiac animals, including the bromeliad.
I love the bromeliad dragon, and I don't think he's...
I don't think he's coming. I miss the bromeliad dragon. That's a tough cookie to say there.
And look, they are not out yet, but Anna and Elsa are coming, and you can see they have the highly sculpted faces as well.
Very much like Snow White. This is going to be hugely popular. They're going to be dead show center right there before, World Showcase.
Dead is probably not the word to use.
Show center. Show center. They're going to be showing snow. They're going to have the effect of snow and frozen looking plants and flowers.
Is that true?
Yes.
I'm looking forward to it. Anytime they have anything new, and they're also going to have
Chip and Dale. Yeah.
And that is, to me, just as big a deal because Chip and Dale, I don't think have ever been part of the festival. But I am looking forward to seeing the Anna and Elsa in the next week because it starts
it'll be
from
about
today.
a week. Just the preview looks great, and they will only look better as they grow in. So I can't wait.
And the flowers look really brilliant. They don't have the floating gardens right now, and
Right.
I'm assuming those will be coming in. And there had been the cold snap last weekend, which meant like most of the flower quilts actually got covered up.
Which was kind of cool because it makes it look like snow.
It does.
With all that white. So we don't see a lot of that around here. So I thought that your pictures looked really neat.
And here is, you see that, like, I don't know if you'd call them a hidden Mickey because you can see them.
It's a giant, obvious Mickey.
So I always enjoy seeing what they're coming up with in the flower quilts.
But that quilt is looking good too. You could tell it was just planted. I mean, it's not fully arisen, but and over there you could see the Cars playground to the right.
Right, and I was just going to say the flower quilts you were just mentioning, they fill in pretty quickly. I mean, once they plant them, they look really nice within like a week or so.
And they usually have a second planting as well.
Right, for the spring flowers. And I think this is called the Purple Martin's Garden or something by Audubon.
Right.
So
it was
different.
an Audubon. It was hummingbirds last year.
year.
And here is the festival center. Sadly, the festival center will be closed during the week this year. We used to like going in there for the demonstrations. So,
they'll be open Friday, Saturday, Sunday like they used to be. But I think they're not being sponsored like they were in the past few years.
Anyway, that is our first look at Epcot's Flower and Garden. We'll have much, much more coming up in
Next
the weeks
week.
ahead. Now we're going to go over to the Orlando Eye Complex, where you got to have a sneak peek of Madame Tussauds.
Tussauds. I call it Madame Tussauds, and I think that's more the proper term. But I think if you're British or it's going to be different than if you're French.
So it's a silent D?
Yeah, it's French. It's French. It's originally Madame Tussauds was French.
Well, anyway, never mind that. Why don't you tell us what we're seeing here?
Well, we saw Neil Patrick Harris as Barney Stinson. That was they had just unveiled him at that point.
Didn't they just unveil all of these?
No, I meant like nobody had known he was coming, and all of a sudden there he was. Like they actually unveiled him in front of me.
Gotcha.
And we saw Marilyn Monroe. And we have Audrey Hepburn from Breakfast at Tiffany's.
That looks very good.
It does.
Muffin. I'm having some coffee right now, just like her coffee.
And this is one of my favorites is John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John as, in Grease. He's gotten a little weird, though, lately with the kind of the creepiness.
Well, see how his hands are out? Like, you can put your face on his hand. See?
just like
at the
Menzel.
Oscars. See, that is one of the things I really like about the museum here is you can touch the figures. It's sort of, you can take pictures with them. You can put your arms around them. It's really cool. I mean, I can't wait. I've never been, but I've heard people have a great time at these museums.
Well, it makes me feel kind of weird to like touch. It's very awkward to me. Like I have to get used to actually touching them. I was like, okay, I'll try touching a little bit.
Well, it's Jackie Chan there.
Right.
Well, here's what I have to say. If Madame Tussauds people are listening to this is my thought.
Who's the people? What people?
Whoever does the public relations for them. When they have the big grand opening, you need to get a real celebrity to be very still and stand around all these guys and just come to life. Actually, they should have that all the time.
I heard this yesterday.
They should have that every single day that this place is open. You get the real Steven Spielberg, like he's looking away. Have him just stand there and then come alive every day.
I don't think they could afford that. That would be very expensive. I'm sure he doesn't come cheaply.
Yes.
And there is E.T. and you can actually sit on, and I did.
I included that picture, by the way.
You
We
did.
will see you demonstrating such a thing.
And they had the red, I don't know if it's like a blanket or a cape, like I could have put
like
that
Elliot
over.
puts the little cloak over his
Right.
head. You should have done that.
I didn't remember E.T. enough to
See,
know
there you
to do
are,
that.
no cloak free. I see the cloak on the ground there.
Well, next time I'll cover myself.
Oh boy.
And there's Steven Spielberg again, like from the front, and it took a while also to kind of get used to these not being real people, like when you're walking in and you're like, oh, there's a bunch of people here, but there's nobody there. It's just you.
They look awesome. I like how the flash effects, like you see the people in the background taking
like the
flash.
photographers.
Right.
And Selena Gomez there.
Really nice. I can't wait to see this in person. You know a lot of these celebrities more than I do.
Well, I know this is Taylor Lautner. I have never seen, I believe he's in one of the vampire movies like Twilight or something. I've never seen it. I only know because I read, magazines and such and online. So this is like a big powerhouse celebrity room where you have Johnny Depp, Will Smith, Samuel L. Jackson. Here you have also Jennifer Aniston. You can see her from the side, and around the corner is Brad and Angelina.
Very interesting planning there.
Yes.
But at least they had the wall. I think that's good.
Right. They can't see each other. And Emma Watson. There's so many of the really big, kind of celebrities concentrated in this one room.
Now, did you touch any of them at all? Touch the skin?
I did touch the skin of a few, but not too many, just to kind of get an idea of what it would feel like.
And what does it feel like?
I don't know. It's sort of hard to tell. It's not, obviously it's not like skin. It's
not warm. Obviously, they're not really alive.
Sort of like a mannequin, but not exactly like a regular mannequin. And here, Leonardo DiCaprio was much taller here than I expected that he would be.
Did you touch his beard there?
No, I didn't touch any beards. Nothing. Like I still have to get the, I'm used to like when you go to a museum type place of not touching anything.
Of course, yes.
So it's very odd to think about touching them at all.
I think they look great, and I think the lighting helps make them look more alive, because notice how the lighting sort of changes all the time in there?
I wasn't really thinking about that. I was trying to not get too many shadows, because when you approach them with a video camera, there can be, quite a bit of the shadows on a lot of them. So I was more focused on that. I wasn't really noticing the changing of the light.
Well, I think, again, everything looks great. They look very realistic, and I can't wait to go and have some fun in there myself.
Well, I'm going to mention the pricing in a minute, but it's such a great value, and this will open on May 4th. But if you join the Orlando Eye or the Madame Tussauds mailing list, it's May 1st is when everything will open, and I think the Orlando Eye will be a lot of fun.
So why don't you tell me what the deal is? What kind of deals can you get for these places?
If you go online, it's from $35 for a combination ticket for all 3 places, including Sea Life Aquarium. And I just think that's phenomenal. That's only like $12 each, no parking fee. They have terrific restaurants. It feels like they're opening a new restaurant all the time over there. And again, Sea Life Aquarium. This would be probably a 5 or 6 hour experience with all the 3 different places.
Oh, there's a hidden Banks going up to
Oh, you
Sam
see
Jackson
Banks?
back there.
You know what?
Interesting.
I don't even notice Banks back there. I don't even know if
Well,
I
you're
noticed
hard
him.
at work.
Yes, I was busy
Will
getting
Smith
my
there.
stuff done.
Is he going to sing the Fresh Prince song like he just did in recent times?
Did he do that
Yes.
recently?
Yes, it's Walt Disney.
No. You know what? I've been asked why isn't like there a Walt Disney here, but
That was close enough to Walt
pretty
Disney.
close.
And here we have the music. This is all things music.
Right, and I think Taylor Swift is still supposed to come here. You have Madonna, and then we have Katy Perry, who just did the Super Bowl.
That's right. That's right. Is that Rihanna there?
Rihanna, I don't know one of her songs, so but I know it's Rihanna. But Katy Perry, no Left Shark. There's no shark.
No Left Shark. They should have a Left Shark in there.
I think he's over at Sea Life Aquarium.
That's right. He is next door. Very good. That's good. I give you credit for that joke. Very good.
And each of the rooms are themed. Like we won't show the sports room, and that is a really great room too.
And it's the King there with the Las Vegas theming in the background.
And we had seen Elvis over at Port Orleans
That's right.
French Quarter
This is
as
our
well.
second Elvis sighting of the show. And the King of Pop himself, Captain EO, Michael Jackson.
Captain EO.
He was Captain EO.
Getting our Disney references in there.
That's right. So, and you can see he's also themed in the back. We saw a Ricky Martin earlier, sort of in the background. Lots of different entertainers, and
I think this will be so much fun when it's open. I just cannot wait. And you can kind of see the music room here. And again, there's Miley Cyrus. Are we going to see her up close? And there's Beyonce.
yes. See, I'm impressed that you know who all these people are.
But I don't know what all their, like, I don't think I could tell you what a Beyonce song was, but I do know what a couple Miley Cyrus, not her new stuff, but a few of her older songs.
Well, we certainly know the song from the Move It, Shake It.
Oh, yes. And only because of that. I wouldn't have otherwise known that one.
Well, you know who's missing from the music room, of course,
I
is Kiss.
do.
You predicted that?
Yes, I did, because we've practiced this already.
Well, I believe they are in another Madame Tussauds.
Oh, I will have to look that up. We should go check them out.
Definitely. And why don't you tell us about the sports room? You alluded earlier to that.
Well, it's very Florida-centric with like Shaquille O'Neal, Tiger Woods.
Dale
Dylan.
Jr., right? I saw a
Yep.
picture you took.
So very, very much a Florida-based athletics.
And we know there's a lot more to come. I talked to them, and they said many more figures to be put in.
That would be awesome. And we also talked to curator Steve Blair at Sea Life Orlando, which will open also in early May. And it will be a terrific aquarium, and we're looking forward to that.
So here is our interview with Steve.
Could you introduce yourself?
I'm Steve Blair. I'm curator for Sea Life Orlando Aquarium.
And what are we seeing behind you?
So what we're standing in front of is the Indian Ocean section of our large ocean tank. And today was very exciting because we started the water fill, the freshwater fill of this exhibit. So it's about 300,000 gallons total for the entire area. The Atlantic section that we started filling was about 192,000 gallons.
And what is the time frame for the fish to come?
Well, this will take about a day and a half to fill with fresh water. Then we're going to salt it with 90,000 pounds of salt. And after that, we commission it or condition it. We get the life support systems all up and operating, which will happen in early March. So then after that, we'll have animal arrivals. Once the water is all ready to go, we make sure it's all good for the animals. Animal arrivals will start in March.
Does anybody else have questions?
How many animals are you expecting to have?
So in total, about 5,000 total animals from 450 different species. So it's a very diverse collection. Should be fantastic. We have 32 exhibits to view all the animals in. So it should be a really immersive aquarium and interesting experience for everybody. We're very, of course, kid friendly. There's things you can crawl through. We have tunnels. There's places to touch animals. So we're very excited. This is a big milestone for us, and we can't wait to open on May 4th. This is the biggest sea life that we've ever built from scratch, from the ground up. So the exhibits would be bigger. I think they're more diverse than a lot of the other sea lives. We also have some unique touch encounter environments. So a couple of things we're doing differently is there's a cold water touch pool, which has really colorful and diverse animals to experience there. We also have diver feeding shows. So one thing we're trying to do is really get the guests involved with the exhibits and us involved in educating them about the animals that we're displaying. And part of that mission, we're having about every 45 minutes or so, there's going to be an educational presentation, and that might include being able to talk to a staff person or enjoy a presentation in front of one of the exhibits. And then finally, like in front of this window we're standing in front of now, you could watch a diver in the water and do an educational presentation with the divers in the water. So that's one of the really key things that we're trying to do differently.
Can you tell us the top line fish is what we heard about earlier. The different tanks will have different kinds of fish. Can you tell us about that?
There's a lot of popular fish. Of course, as the curator of husbandry, I love them all. But we will have some big sandbar sharks. We'll have a mangrove stingray. And then in this exhibit right here, we'll have a bowmouth guitarfish, which is a really interesting kind of a shark ray-like animal. Very, really neat to watch. So we'll have a lot of seahorses, big and small alike. There's a lot of diversity, so a lot of interesting, cool fish to see. Well, I think the theming, something that people should take away with is just kind of wow. They should walk around and really feel like they've gone somewhere unique, they've experienced something. And I think the theming here at this Sea Life does that beautifully. I think people will be very impressed with the tunnels and the arches. We have a 360-degree clear acrylic tunnel that goes through the ocean tank. So in addition to the rockwork theming, I think it'll be a very unique experience, and people should really feel they've gone through an experience. It should be about 60 to 90 minutes, and I think I'm hoping it knocks people's socks off.
I can't wait to go through that tube through the ocean there. That looks really cool.
Well, I mean, there's going to be 3 great attractions here, and it will really be, I think, a full day experience with the whole iDrive 360 once everything is open.
Not to mention, there's no shortage of places to eat in the area.
That's what, right? That's what I meant. I mean, Tin Roof Orlando, like so many different restaurants here, Red Robin, but plus we just tried Marlowe's down at Point Orlando.
Which was
and that
wonderful, by the way.
Fantastic.
So guess what?
What?
That's another show.
That's another show.
And we want to thank our sponsors, pixievacations.com.
Check them out for Disneyland, Walt Disney World, Disney Cruise, Adventures by Disney, all things Disney and around the world. Everything.
also Maple Leaf Tickets, our official ticket agency. Check them out. And Theme Park Connection,
our original sponsor.
Yeah, we just saw their truck drive by us on the way back from Daytona, so I'm sure they have lots of goodies.
Right, from California too.
So anyway, thanks again, and we'll see you all next week.
Have a great week.